Hi, my name is Ray Catola, and you may know me from the such projects as... You may also know me as the host of the internet's favorite harness handicapping show, North American Harness Update, which I host with these two guys, Mike Prebosi and Rod Adams Jr. Every Friday from 9 p.m. Eastern, you can catch us talking harness, handicapping harness, and most importantly, having fun with harness. Can we please get this stuff out of my face? Thank you! North American Harness Update, Fridays from 9 on SRN1. Also download Often Pacing, and using promo code NAHU200K, start your stable with an additional 200,000 coins. You can also catch show archives and racing analysis over at our website, NAHUPicks.com!
NAHU crew back here once again to present the weekly edition of the CalExtra. I am Ray Catola, joined here by Mike Prebosi, Rod Adams Jr., here to take you through the Saturday evening late pick 4 sequence over at the California Exposition, but we know it is Cal Expo. This sequence, races 7 through 10, carries a guaranteed pool of $50,000 as a 16% takeout. A 20-cent minimum, and I think it's one of the better sequences that we've seen in the last few weeks. So we're just going to jump right into it. Not necessarily jump because I'm sitting in a chair and I don't really feel like moving. However, I'm just going to look over my past performances and see that this first leg is a non-winners of 1,500, their last 5 starts, a field of 8 to kick off the pick 4. And Mike, starting with you, there's a strong favorite here. Do you think that she's necessarily that strong?
Yeah, I think the two's... It looks tough in here. Dropped from opens. On April 14th was the last open. Went last time numbers of 2,000. Had road trouble. Was 4.5 to 1 in that race. Came home 27-2. Now drops another tick. Draws inside. Usually comes from the back. I would think an earlier move will be in order. And they're going to have to beat her for sure. I'm going to try a couple others. The 6, always a little more. This horse has been racing well at this level. Brushed twice, 2 back, fan 3 wide, last time from the rail. Kind of, moves outside, but, without the brake line, this horse is right there, 5 out of the last 6 starts. Really impossible to leave off the ticket, especially with the early speed. And then the 8, place at the beach. This horse has been racing numbers at 2,500, numbers at 2,000 type levels. If you look back late March, at this level, this horse raced well, 1, 2 out of 3 at the level. Has had some tough trips, won 9 times last year. Those are all very positive angles for me. So I'll use that one also. 2, 6, and 8 to start.
Rod, off to interrupt you, looking like an inspirational Abercrombie and Fitch model, to ask what exactly you think of this first leg.
I'm using those 3 horses plus a couple more. I'm 5 deep here, starting with the 1, no guarantees. This horse with the rail, last time drew the outside, draws back inside here. Should get away much, much closer. Doesn't have a ton of gate speed, but should be able to get away close enough, I think. And especially this field, this one is a definite player, and I think fits this level well, especially from the inside. The 2, I'm not adding anything else Mike didn't tell you. And then the 3, Fire Dance, I'm throwing this one on. This is a long shot play here. Second start at this level. 2 back, raced really well. Tried the 2 move. He left, got 2 hole, and then tried to remove again, and just faded a little bit late. But I think this one is speedy enough if she can get the trip. So that one, as a big price play, I'm going to throw on. The 6, Mike touched on this one already. I think this one fits well at this level. And then the 8, place at the beach. I'm throwing this one on. Longo, on the drop, I like Longo, and I think this horse fits in here at another decent price. 1, 2, 3, 6, 8.
We seem to have a lot of overlap here. I am 2, 3, 6, 8 in this opening leg. Fire Dance, I definitely agree, is a long shot contender, specifically for the post improvement. The only catch will be whether or not she'll have enough to last the final quarter of a mile, but she'll be a decent enough price where it's worth the try if she's able to get the setup. And then the 8, place at the beach, also could get herself off the gate and positioned somewhere up close, which again she could just be one of those prices that gets the race to set up in her favor, and then she's able to capitalize off of it. So 2, 3, 6, 8 for me in the first leg of this pick four, and that means, ladies and gentlemen, that's right. After 1 is 2. The second leg of this pick four, we're almost halfway there. Now where's a 20,000 lifetime pacing event? We got 1, 2, 4, 7, 8 more lining up. Mike, to start off with you, what do you see? This is a pretty wide open race.
4 deep. I'm going to start with the 1, Happy Heath. Plano stays. This horse has been racing okay at the level. Gets an inside draw here. And if you look back again to some of these March lines, the horse won on March 17th and was, raced really well on the 31st in a game effort. The last 2 races, rough trips. I'm willing to excuse them. The 2, Western Devil. This horse has been driven even the last couple races. I like the draw inside here. Has back lines that, and is 5 times in the money this year. Raced well last year at the level. Should be a price. The 4, First Dibs, comes from Fraser. Just a stranger in the race, which I don't mind. That's a deep track up there. And this horse is racing at the upper levels. Those numbers of 5s and 7s and things. Those are tough races from outside posts. I like the change of scenery. The trainer's 26%. I don't think you're going to get 6-1 there. And then the 7, Storming the Odds, a very obvious one here. Has won 3 out of 4. Last time, had a little bit of trouble. Didn't quite get cleared till late and just missed. Will be favored. I'm going to use that one. 1, 2, 4, 7.
Rod, I imagine that's a great sunset you're looking at towards the horizon. But again, second leg of this pick four, I need your attention directed this way.
I'm looking at my camera, so I don't know what you're talking about. So I'm 4 deep as well. Similar to Mike, I'm starting with the 1, Happy Heath. Draws the rail. Plano stays on. Mike pretty much said everything that needs to be said about this one. The 4, First Dibs, I agree 100%. Goes to a high percentage barn here. The track at Fraser is very deep, like Mike said, and some horses don't get around it that well, and I think maybe that was the case with this horse. Coming to the big track, I do think this one deserves to be bet, and he's probably going to take a little bit of money. The 7, Storming the Odds. This one's been super sharp the last 4 or 5 starts. Just got beat last time off a 2-hole trip, but didn't get out until late, so there's an excuse there. The horse would have won that race as well. I'm not going to excuse this horse at short odds, probably going to be the favorite. And then the 8, Crash and Burn, I'm throwing that one on. Last week, just kind of sat on the rail, never really made a move, and has just been okay over recent starts. But I like that this horse could be following some live cover in here. If they go some fractions up front, I think this horse is going to be coming late and could surprise at a big price. 1, 4, 7, 8.
When I was a little boy, I had many dreams, but none of them pertain to this race in particular. However, I just wanted to put it out there that I did. As for this race, I'm 3 deep. We all like Happy Heath, all for similar reasons. Drops in class, 1 here back on March 17th. Mostly the fact he won back here March 17th means the horse has ability at this level. So moving back down is a positive sign. The 3, Richelieu Cowboys, the next one I use. I'm not sure you guys use this one at all. Exiting the Watch and Wager series off of a win with broken equipment at odds of 3-1. Otherwise, it's just been racing against hours of 1,000, hours of 500, and albeit he wasn't necessarily winning those races, he still was putting in decent miles against that competition, and the fact that he's exiting a win, doing so on the lead, and overcoming the equipment issues is a positive sign in my book, so I'll toss him on for a bit of a price. And the 5, Sinalda Eclipse, is another one exiting that series, this one winning off cover from a rail starting spot, came home in 27 and change. Another one that prior to was racing against weaker competition, but doing so all right. He's one that if the setup goes his way, if he's sitting off the pace, he's shown that he can kick home strongly, and all he'd have to do is just show that he can do that again. So I'm 1, 3, 5 here in the second leg, trying to go for a bit of a price. The third leg, almost completing this quadrupedic sequence, is a filly mare. Now is $750 the last 5 starts. Quadruped is like horses have 4 feet. You all got what I was saying. So Mike, to start off with you, we got 7 horses lining up for this race. How deep do you go?
4 deep again. Start with the 1, Duet. Sizzled pace last time. Was on the front in the Watch and Wager Series 2 back and nearly pulled it off. I like the speed. will likely be speed again. They're going to have to catch, and horses like that are dangerous, especially in these short fields. The 2 backstock. This is Plano here. Just the driver switch, moves inside. This horse drops another tick. Really had no chance last time. 0 for 16 this year, but a little bit of a better setup, I think. The 3, Poor Little Rich Girl. 10 hole last time, no chance, used hard. Outside post prior to that, gets another drop in class. I would think will take a serious amount of money. And then the 5, Hairway to Heaven. This horse raced well at this level last time. Had the 7 and 9 the last 2 races. This horse has been a long shot though in almost every race so far this year. And now you're looking at 5-2 morning line off that 2 move. I'm just curious if the horse can kind of regress a little. I'm going to use anyway 1, 2, 3, and 5.
Rod, will you use anyway?
No, I'm not using 5. I'm 4 deep as well. The one thing I don't think Mike touched on with this one, what's dangerous about these types of horses is you can't trust them to win, but because they like to bottom the field out, you can't trust the other horses to keep up and not get faint-hearted toward the end. So I think you have to use this one even if you don't like the horse. That one to me is a must play. The 2 backstock, Plano jumps on. That's really the big reason why I'm using this horse. If he keeps pace behind the 1, I think he's going to be a dangerous player. The 3, Poor Little Rich Girl. I got nothing else to add. Parked a mile last time. Big effort, but just got tired late. And then I'm going all the way outside to the 7, Sinalta Cougar. This one, 3rd start for the trainer. Showed some improvement last time. Nice kicker last quarter. I think if they go really fast up front and there's tiring horses, this one should be coming late. And I expect this one to be sitting last all the way past the half. 1, 2, 3, 7.
You can't trust those horses to win, but you can't trust the others to keep up. Thank you, Confucius, for that one.
Yep.
For me, I'm 2 deep. I also use Duet. That last race in particular really sealed the deal with me for this horse, because if you look at those fractions compared to the last race, she showed an uncharacteristic amount of speed there, just to finish 5th by 7 lengths. And that the fact that she was so much faster that time around than times before makes me think that she could possibly be improving and could necessarily bottom out the field, that which is the hypothesis we've all been proclaiming, something like that. 9-1 morning line too. Seems like she's worth it at a price too if she can take them all the way. And the 3, Poor Little Rich Girl's the only other horse that really stood out on paper to me. That last race in particular is gigantic, even though she finished 10th, parking half the mile from the 10 hole, clearing the lead, then losing the lead, and then losing the race altogether is a sign that that's just a tough trip altogether. So now she comes into this level, she gets post relief, she drops in class, lots of positives going for her. 1-3, I really think the 3 could win this race if the 1 just doesn't screw up the pace, and the 3 should really be the favorite, not the 5. But that's all stuff that doesn't matter in the Big 4 sequence. And speaking of the Big 4 sequence, it's on the last leg now. We're on the final one, 4 of 4, race number 10. It's a non-winners of 1,500 in their last 5 pace. We got 7 lining up. Mike, of those 7, who's worth using?
3 deep for me. The 3, Jump the Shark. This horse gets the same level here. Was the favorite the last 2 starts at this level. Used hard both times. Gets Plano. Obviously will take money. The 5, Cowboys Dirty Boots. This horse gets a slight drop here, and had been racing 4 claimers. The outside posts do not agree with this one. But 2 and 3 back, those are solid races. I don't mind those, especially against a horse like Lincoln, who is very sharp currently. So gets a little bit of class relief, I think. And then the 7, Don't Doubt the Lakers. This horse doesn't necessarily like to win this year, but this is a significant drop for him. Used hard last time, rough trip. Big moves in the miles in March. Definitely capable to beat this bunch. A lot of class going for him. 3, 5, 7.
Rod, a lot of class going for him.
I do not like the 7, but
You don't like that horse anyway.
No, I don't.
Doubt the Lakers.
I don't like that horse, but
not to doubt.
But I'm 2 deep here. I'm pretty chalky. The 3, obvious horse in the race. You have to use this one. The 5, Cowboys Dirty Boots. This is the other chalk in here. I got nothing clever in this race. I just saw these 2 horses as the 2 favorites, and I think they could possibly run 1-2 in here. 3-5.
That's the problem with homonyms, because when you said too deep, maybe it's homophones, you said too deep, I was thinking you went deeper than you should.
No.
I went 3 deep, and there's no misconstruing you can have with that. I take the 2, How to Train Your Dragon, to start things off. This horse is moving up in class, but has been racing so well against lower competition that if he just sits up close and he kicks home the way he has in those other races, and he should be perfectly fine. But then this is where I kind of get not creative. The 3, Jump the Shark. Jump the Shark's pretty obvious. We've all talked about him. I have nothing else to add. I also throw on then the 4, 2 Mickey Trip is the last horse I used in this race. Had the rail last time and just sat the pocket and won. At odds of 3-1 with Jerry Longo in the bike. Moves up in class this time around. Was up against competition similar to How to Train Your Dragon. And in fact, was 3rd to How to Train Your Dragon. 2 starts back, pulling first over around the final turn. And if I'm using How to Train Your Dragon, that horse is sharp, and this horse has been sharp at those levels, then by transitive property, I should probably use this horse. I'm 2, 3, 4 in the last leg of the pick 4, which makes my ticket go as follows. I am 2, 3, 6, 8 with the 1, 3, 5, with the 1, 3, with the 2, 3, 4. That's $14.40 for 20 cents. Mike, your ticket.
268 with 1, 2, 4, 7 with 1, 2, 3, 5 with 3, 5, 7. It's $28.80.
Rodney.
1, 2, 3, 6, 8 with 1, 4, 7, 8 with 1, 2, 3, 7 with 3, 5. It's $32.
And with that said, this has been another edition of the NAHU CalExtra, covering the late pick 4 sequence for Saturday, April 28th at CalExpo. I have been Ray Catolo, they're Mike Prebosi and Rod Adams Jr. Make sure to check out NAHUPicks.com for daily race analysis, or rather race analysis for every race day, from tracks including Western Fair, the Meadowlands, and Woodbine, Mohawk Park, as well as you can also find archives of the show we do every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern. That's North American Harness Update, the show that started it all. That's on our archives page and on 140.ca/1 on SRN1 as well, and also streaming on video on YouTube, Periscope, Facebook, any sort of media platform. You can probably find it there. That said, this does it for another edition of the CalExtra, and wherever the river's current may take you is where you will be dispersed into the oceans.
Not.